my expectations of a PowerPoint are a little bit different than a regular teacher. Okay, a regular teacher is going to assign a PowerPoint and they're super interested in the subject. I am not interested in the subject of the PowerPoint. You can choose to do anything you want. I am specifically interested in the PowerPoint itself. I need to be able to see you, everybody in here, create a business level teaching or training PowerPoint. So it's not an entertainment PowerPoint. It's not for kindergartners or for fun and games. It's a business level teaching or training PowerPoint. And because I'm looking at the PowerPoint itself, the subject doesn't really matter. You can choose to do anything you want. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter what you pick. It's got a business application. This is a business class. I'm looking for 15 slides total. Title slide, 13 content slides, and a reference slide. That equals 15. Yes, reference slide. Now in the instructions here it says for the references I'm looking for the web address and the date you retrieve the information. Okay, a PowerPoint is multimedia, right? Multi meaning more than one. So if you were to go and try to not have to do a reference page because you didn't borrow any pictures, all of a sudden it's not multimedia anymore. It's monomedia, because then you've only got text left, right? That's not what I'm looking for. A presentation like this should give people visuals. It should have pictures up there that capture their interest. It should, include all of that kind of stuff. That's why it's a multimedia presentation and not just a word processor. For anything you borrow, you have got to give credit to the owner. That's the only way educational fair use works. If you've ever looked at copyright law, educational fair use are the set of guidelines that allow us in education to borrow pretty much anything we want, as long as we give credit to the owner. If you don't give credit to the owner, you are in fact breaking the law. Okay, this number 5 is where I've kind of tried to explain what it is I'm actually looking for, what you're going to get points for. I am looking for a business level teaching or training PowerPoint. Because you can do any subject you want, it's almost impossible for me to say you have to have 2 paragraphs of information and 4 pictures, or you have to have 3 bullet points and 2 pictures, or whatever. You need to figure out what your PowerPoint needs to be for your subject. And that's going to be varied, very different between students, right? If you were to look at a slide in a slideshow, and you were to think to yourself, does that look like it would be at home in a business meeting, like people's suits and ties and whatnot, right? Or does that look like it would be at home in the kindergarten classroom? Because kindergartners can't even read. So if your slide looks like it's going to be at home in kindergarten, don't expect very many points. If your slide looks like it would be perfectly at home in a business meeting, that's what I'm looking for. It's like a whole spectrum. If you're veering towards business meeting, you're probably all right. If you're veering towards kindergarten, not so much. One of the best examples of this, I always have guys in here that want to do PowerPoints on cars. Classic cars, fast cars, expensive cars, doesn't matter, right? So I have a student trying to do that. So he goes online and he spends like 10 minutes finding the most awesome picture of a late 60s Corvette. Super iconic car, right? They use it in movies all the time. I know you know what I'm talking about if you saw one. Finds an awesome picture, slaps it on the slide, makes it full size so it looks nice, loud and proud, and then at the top of the slide, he writes Corvette. And that's the whole slide. That is worth absolutely 0. I'm not looking for picture books. I'm looking for a business level teaching or training PowerPoint. Now, this 6, 7, and 8, hyperlinks, animations, and sounds, we will talk about that and I'll do demos on it in the second half of this video. So let's get this rolling. And please remember, we are making an actual PowerPoint. If you go at home and start cranking out a Google slideshow and try to share that with me, that's worth nothing. My curriculum will not allow me to give you points for that. This class, the business class that this is, requires PowerPoint. When you open up PowerPoint, you are going to be presented with a screen that looks like this. These are the themes. This is what PowerPoint calls a theme. You are more than welcome to use a theme. Business people use themes all the time. But you have to understand, once you pick a theme, it takes over everything. It takes over font sizes, font locations, font colors. It puts crap in the background. It puts crap on what they call the master slide. You can't get rid of any of that. I mean, you could switch to a whole new theme, or you could turn it off if you wanted, but you can't switch from theme to theme to theme within a PowerPoint. You only get one choice. Most students, however, want a little bit more creative freedom, and they just go with a blank presentation. So here's a blank presentation. If I was doing this, this is how I would start it out. Step one. Even if I didn't really know what I wanted my PowerPoint to be about, I would put something on my title slide. All right, so I know that I want to do my PowerPoint on dogs. So I'm going to put dogs on there. I'm going to put my byline down here. By Bob Banana. The next thing I would do is I would make a new slide, and this slide would be my references. Now here's why I make the references first thing. I want to go put a cool picture on my title slide, right? So to get a picture, where do people go? Okay, you go to the internet, probably Google Images maybe. So I'm going to search for dog in Google, and I'm going to go to images, and here's a dog that I want to use for my title slide. A lot of students, when they get this far, they will right-click this and go to copy image, and they go over here and they just paste it on their slide. But then it never really fits right, so then they got to move it around, and it's still not on there right, so we're going to squish it this way a little bit, and then I'm going to stretch it out that way a little bit, which makes the dog look like a completely different breed, right? Because now he's got a wide flat head instead of a skinny narrow head. So now where did my dog's title go? Wasn't there a title there a second ago? Where'd it go? It's behind. So then you got to right click this. You got to go send to back. And now here's my dog's title right over this dog's face. You can't barely see it. So now I'm going to move my title. So I'm going to grab my title and there. No, wait. Got it. Get it. Move it. No. Oh, there we go. Finally. I got it. I got it. No, that's not. You'd be surprised how many times I stand behind students and I watch them argue with these pictures forever. Because guess what? This picture is not in the background. The background of this slide is white. If this was in the background, I wouldn't be able to move it around. If you really want to put something in the background, how do you do that? Putting it in the background starts from here. Instead of copying the image, I'm going to right click this and I'm going to go to save image as. So I'm going to save it in my pictures folder, save the picture, right? Now if I go over here, I want to edit the actual background. So there's two ways to do that. You can go up here to design and over here to format background, or you can just right click the background and go to format background. It takes you to the same place. Notice this little window or this little pane that showed up on the side? So if I want to format my background with a fill of a picture from file, so open up my pictures folder. There's the dog I just saved. I click enter or insert, boom. Notice no stretching, no manipulating, no tweaking it around, no messing with it. It's just there. Also notice I cannot click on it because now it is legit in the background. which means that any editing I do with any of my titles or my other slides objects, I don't have to argue with the background ever again. It just works. I can just take care of business. Now, I'm not done with that picture yet. This is why I have my reference slide ready to go. Before I leave this website, I need to give credit to the owner of this picture. I know you found it at Google Images. Does Google own this picture? So to give credit to the owner, I cannot put Google on my reference slide. What do I have to do? You can do maybe like a copy image URL or something like that from here, or you can just go to the site. Now, the way copyright law works, think about this for a second. If this was a picture I took of my dog and it was on this website without permission, literally that means they stole it from me. So the fact that it's actually on this website and hasn't been taken down yet and nobody's suing them means that they own this picture, which means that this is the URL you're looking for. Copy that, go back here, and since you've got a reference slide ready to go, because you did that on the second step, you have a place to put it. Now you're done with this picture. You can move on. Don't grab the pictures first and then try to do the URLs later. That is a disaster. And it doesn't really matter that my reference slide is in the second position here, because even after I finish my whole slideshow, see all my slides I've got over here? I can actually grab that reference slide and put it at the end if I want. I can put it anywhere I want. In this slide, they call this the slide sorter pane. So you can sort your slides in any order you want them to be in over there in this side pane. So for today, figure out a subject of some kind. Title slide, reference slide. Go start collecting information.